So we're rolling. So Millie's going to introduce you. So we'd like to welcome Dr. Megan Farrell to give the keynote address for today.
Thank you very much. Hi everybody, thank you for having me. My name is Megan Farrell. I'm a specialist anaesthetist at Wagga Base Hospital, and I'm the current Don Kendell Memorial Leadership Award winner. The most important thing that I wanted to start off by saying is that I'm a Wagga original, so I was born here and I went to school here, and I'm very invested in the community that we live in. So it's been a real honour to receive this award this year. My grandfather actually built parts of the old base hospital back in the day, various additions. So I remember the red brick monster very firmly from my childhood. So it's nice to have seen the evolution of the health service just to this point. I also remember Don Kendell being a very sort of famous Wagga personality in my childhood. So it's been really my privilege to be the recipient of an award in his honour. So I want to say thank you very much for that, first and foremost. So just to briefly describe my role within MLHD, I'm a VMO anaesthetist at Wagga Base Hospital. I've been a specialist for a bit over 6 years after about 15 years of medical training. So it's been a very long round trip for me to come back to Wagga. And I currently work in both the public and private sectors here. And I've most recently been the acting head of department for anaesthesia at Wagga Base. The base has about 15 specialist anaesthetists, so a pretty big department, and we work all over the hospital, not just in the obvious places like the operating theatres, but increasingly in places like maternity and radiology and ED and ICU. So we're a bit all over the place. You'll see us everywhere. My particular subspecialty is in paediatric anaesthesia. And in this respect, since I've been back in Wagga, I've led several projects to improve the quality of the paediatric anaesthetic services in the Riverina. And they've included things like revising the paediatric fasting protocols for elective surgery, establishing some dedicated paediatric tailored areas around the operating theatres, both in the preoperative holding bay and then in the post-anaesthetic care bay. And probably nearest and dearest to my heart, establishing the general anaesthetic MRI service that we are now very lucky to have at Wagga Base. And that's been a particularly meaningful project for me because, as you might imagine, asking a young child to lie still for up to a couple of hours for an MRI scan is a next to impossible task. So it's been fantastic to establish a service that can provide that general anaesthesia to support kids to be relaxed and comfortable while they're getting optimal imaging services. So by leading that change, Wagga Base can now offer paediatric patients and their families access to really high quality MRI services without the need to travel beyond Wagga to places like Canberra or Sydney, which is a big plus for our community. So I'm very proud of that. And we've also got an excellent relationship with the Department of Paediatrics in that regard. So we provide holistic local care to paediatric patients of our community, which has been great. I've also been involved in a few other initiatives in a more peripheral capacity, but particularly the day surgery hip replacement pathway, which is obviously it's been a very large multidisciplinary project to improve efficiency and address issues of bed capacity and the like. But I'm very proud to have made an anaesthetic contribution to its ongoing success. But I guess probably for me, the most rewarding aspect of my leadership roles have been the sense of collaboration that I've built within the Department of Anaesthesia itself, and the sense of team spirit that has prospered in our department in that time. And from that, many further quality improvement projects have sprung, And I hope all of those have a positive impact on the community that we live in and the health of our community. I'm really proud of the positive momentum that's all brought towards better, more innovative, higher quality and more comprehensive care right here at home in Wagga, and subsequently the health and wellbeing of my local community is all the better for it. So I guess that's the Don Kendell legacy that I'd like to leave in my own small way as the award passes on to a new recipient. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Don Kendell himself and his family for their ongoing support of Murrumbidgee Local Health District. And I really hope that many more positive health innovations and community projects are possible in his name going forward. So thank you so much for having me.